In accordance, we'll start the meeting, call order. In accordance with state statute section 84-1412, the Open Meetings Act is posted on the west wall of the council chambers for public information. Would you please join me in the pledge of allegiance of the flag?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Do roll call there.
Stokely. Here. Penrose.
Here.
Swinson.
Here.
Boozy.
Here.
Hugo.
Here.
Smith.
Here.
Can you let that microphone quick?
Okay.
Just to let everybody know, we're trying a new central microphone and it picks up everything. I mean, everything, so it'll pick up conversations in the audience or all that, so.
Okay, consent agenda, city appointed boards and commissions, we have none this evening. Fire and Rescue Department, accept the resignation of Jessica Hunke from the West Point Rescue. Approval of the minutes of the previous meeting, treasurer's report, everything's good. The claims, everybody get a chance to look over the claims?
Yep.
Okay, then I just, we need a motion to approve the consent agenda.
So moved.
Second. Motion made by Tom, seconded by Rusty. Cast your votes. Okay. Public hearings, none. Bids, we have none this evening. Current business, request for personal parking stalls on the public right-of-way at the residence located at 105 North Oak Street. Ron and Linda Krackemeyer.
Yeah, the request is in your packet. There's a couple photos in there. You can see the curb is already cut out and what they're requesting is just to pave it. This is just more formality. They've been using that parking area for quite some time.
Fine with me. I think they just put in some new sewer in there. I think they have a new water line, so they'll be paving over that, which is good.
Any more discussion? We just need a motion to approve this.
I'll make a motion. Second.
Motion made by Jerry, seconded by Tom. Cast your votes, please. Item 2, discuss the use of eminent domain to acquire the Fraternal Order of Eagles property described as the west one half of lots 5 and 6, block 47, original plat of the city of West Point, Cumming County, Nebraska.
At the last meeting, this was tabled. The request was to provide a survey, and that survey is enclosed in your packet. Just real briefly, that the wood fence is right on the property line, basically on the west, or east, excuse me. I think that was the one the corner we were actually questioning at the time. Otherwise, the request in the packet, in the outline for eminent domain, it says it was before, to take the house, allow for a 10-foot easement, and move forward with it.
So we left it with it. The suggestion last week was 12 and a half or something, or is it?
There's nothing informal.
Nothing informal, no, but that was just, so it's still it.
It's still as it was originally presented.
But there wasn't discussion made about 12 feet, correct?
There were discussions regarding 12 feet, and then there was discussions about an additional 20 feet possibly behind to the north. We never really did get a response back on that, so. The only thing we had documented at this time would be to bring it back in its original form. We can have that discussion here as to where you want to go next.
I was going to say the Eagles Club did respond to the 20-foot thing. That was
city proposed an additional 20 foot north of the house lot in exchange for 2 feet wider easement, so a total of 12 feet. And the Eagles responded, no, at least we did to our attorney, but that
Okay.
didn't get relayed.
No, it didn't
No,
get
it
relayed.
didn't get relayed then. Okay.
And our thoughts on that was not really a fair trade, a 2 foot easement for, it was like 250 square feet compared to 2,500 more feet of our parking lot, so that didn't make sense to us.
So that 20 feet would be how many square foot?
Uh,
Roughly, just,
260?
no, I'm talking about our 2 feet is the 260 you said?
Yeah, widening the easement.
Right.
2 feet would be
260 foot taken away from the building.
square feet
And then
given to us. And then
Right.
The parking lot is 20 by 130 or whatever, so it's 2,600 square feet.
Wouldn't we just replace
I thought
the
we,
2
yeah.
feet that we would take in the 230 square foot and ask for 230 square foot in the back so the building stays the same?
I thought that's what we did ask for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just, what do you want structure? That's,
Well, no, I thought that that's what we did ask for in the proposal.
no.
What was the proposal?
The proposal was to widen the easement to 12 feet
Uh-huh.
and then to go to 20 feet at the rear, the width of the lot, which is 65 feet.
So if we gave you 12 feet, would you give us that 240 square feet in the back?
I think we probably would consider that, yeah.
I mean, that can't be,
Well,
what would that be, I mean, what would that be dimension wise? Anyone with quick math?
Well, 250 square feet on the north end of the lot, lot's 65, roughly 4 feet.
Okay. As long as the structure's staying the same, I don't, right?
I always thought the problem was more what was between the buildings, not necessarily how far back it went. So-
Right, no, I understand that, I think from my understanding of what the fire department wants is an X amount of square foot in their building. So if we can shift a few feet here and shift a few feet there, in my opinion, that solves that problem. Doesn't matter
It didn't
where.
help our door situation. It was our doors. Our doors were wider, so we go back, that isn't gonna help our distance on our doors.
No, I get that, but I think we kind of nailed that out last time.
No.
That's why we made the 12-foot easement proposal then the second time, is because
Correct.
we were willing to give up the 2 feet potentially if we needed to.
Yeah.
So you're saying yes? Right?
What's that?
So that's a yes?
To what exactly?
To what?
Well, yeah, no,
it's just discussion, yeah. I mean, we're in that neighborhood right there that we just
I
discussed.
think we would all be happy with at least 12 feet. I think 10 feet.
Yeah, if we can give you 12 feet and figure out the little bit on the back if need be, you know, we have to map it out or see what that is. But I'm ready to put this behind
20 feet
us.
was excessive, that's what we were worried about.
Correct.
You know, giving up that.
Yeah, no, if you're giving up 2,600 square feet to our 240, that doesn't,
And anything that transpires, we would have to vote on it as a club.
Correct.
Because that's the way it goes.
Well, even 20 feet off the north wouldn't be 2,300 square feet. The lot's only 65 feet, so 10 feet would be 650.
so you're
So 20 feet would be 1,300.
still,
That could be right.
yeah,
Yeah, so it wasn't completely across the, okay.
right. If we make a motion to make some sort of offer, how fast can we get a response back?
The way that we have to operate is, we discuss internally,
Yep.
you know, kind of potentially accepting the offer.
Right.
And we have to take it to a meeting,
Yep,
so
yep.
Next week.
Next Tuesday?
next
Yeah.
Tuesday is our
Yeah.
meeting, so.
So a week from today.
Yeah.
Because we'd have to offer it up to all of our members and send out text messages.
Right.
Make sure everybody's
Yep.
notified.
Understood.
That way they have a voice in the.
We've kind of been negotiating in between meetings, but, you know, discussing it at every meeting, but, you know, before the purchase agreement, we definitely would have to.
Right,
have
right.
the meeting, so.
I'm just for sake of getting this behind us and moving forward with a gentleman's handshake, I guess, for now.
Can you call a special meeting?
What's next week?
I mean, we're only a week from today.
Yeah.
I mean, is that too long a time?
I think all we're saying is just that if we make this motion and then you guys have a meeting on Tuesday and then you say no, then we're in a whole nother month
Then you're
away from
pushing
it.
it.
Right.
And so then we're gonna be
Right.
like, okay, well, why do we even do that? Because.
I guess we could consider having a special meeting.
That's not what we're even saying.
No,
Tuesday is
but
fine, we're just saying,
just
that
so
if
we
you say,
get-
if you all vote no on
Right.
Tuesday,
Yeah.
and tell us, yeah, today, that it sounds fine, then
Right.
we just wanna be like, well, why do we
Yeah.
even do that?
Right.
All right. Yeah, I think we could respond as
Okay.
quickly as we
Yeah.
could. Potentially before that even, so.
Sure, okay.
We'll push it through as fast as we can.
Well, do we need to make a motion saying what we just said, or how do we want to handle it?
Yeah, I think you should.
Yeah.
Okay, so I would make a motion that the original, however we have it set up right now, but then adding to 12 feet from 10 feet, and then finding the 240 square feet or whatever, that we'll figure out that number to whatever, in additional behind that to the north a little bit.
Second.
Any more discussion? Cast your votes, please.
I don't like them dog legs in them lot, screwing up lots.
Okay.
Okay.
Item 3, Chamber of Commerce Economic Development Quarterly Report.
So, just real quick, so we got this straight for our records. When we get something from you, then we'll have something formally drawn up by your attorney? Or are you gonna, and have it proposed?
Well, do we need to send, go ahead, sorry.
I would think you guys would
Draw it up.
agreement.
Okay, once we have your approval.
Oh, right.
Right.
Okay,
Yeah,
Okay.
and we'll get the exact, square footage or whatever.
okay, that's fine. Thank you. All right, sorry, Tina.
Okay, Tina.
No, you're fine. Iron out the details best now than later.
Right.
You get all answers that you need. Okay, you would have received my quarterly report in your packet, kind of reviews, things that we're working on. Probably what we're spending most of our time on right now is investing in human capital. A lot of one-on-one time spent with recruiting some professionals to town, especially now as teachers' contracts are moving. We've seen a lot more calls into the office looking for housing and even rentals. It's interesting, we get a lot of calls from parents of adult children now checking in on rentals. So working through all of that. But other than that, if there's anything in there that you have questions on, we held our annual Partners in Progress and our Ag Appreciation Banquet the last time. There's and I'm sure you guys are aware of this, just how things work, but Lincoln Street and Westview Terrace Apartments have been bought out by a different developer, but the contact is the same, so in case anybody's wondering. And we still have multiple people looking at expanding or needing commercial space for relocation, so we're trying to be creative with that still. I know we had one of our business owners came and spoke to our board 2 months ago in that regards, trying to get creative, trying to find a way to make that happen, but that seems to be an ongoing thing that we just continue to work on. So if you have creative ideas, please let me know. Do you have any questions for anything on there or anything that you'd like to see that maybe you've thought of that we're not doing?
Are you talking about Lincoln Street Market or the Lincoln Street Apartments?
Lincoln Street Lincoln Street Apartments.
Apartments.
Apartments, those are both apartment buildings. Lincoln Street, Westview Terrace apartment buildings. Is in that sentence.
Thank you,
The
Tina.
whole world will know when Lincoln Street Market
Oh, yeah.
sells. I know there's been offers on it that have been declined.
Thank you.
More questions for Tina?
Questions for me? Thank you very much. We appreciate your support.
Need a motion to accept the report and approve the payment of $5,000 for services for January, February, and March of 2023.
Second that.
Motion made by Rusty, seconded by Ryan. Okay. Item 4, discuss additional generation capacity. Tom?
Ron and I were at a conference a couple weeks ago at NMPP Energy, and we talked with Caterpillar people there, and there's been some ongoing discussions about generation units coming out of data centers and becoming available with very low hours and have the potential to move into communities. One of them, or was it 3 of them, are going into Kimball, and then 2 of them are going to go into Curtis. So we asked them to shoot us a price and see where we are. And you've got 2 units that are available, fully self-contained units. Those are going for right around $300,000 each. Those are 2 megawatt units. And then there are 4 other units coming out that are not fully self-contained, but when I say they're not fully self-contained, they're just not in an enclosure.
Right.
And those are coming out at a little over $280,000. All the units will need catalytic systems to make them compliant. Mean is reviewing and taking a look at additional generation and capacity compensation. Basically, they're selling these things as fast as they're coming out. And if we want to kind of earmark a couple of these units, now's the time to do it. There's no total financial commitment or anything like that. So what we were proposing, what we were thinking about is going to 3 units. When we lost the Enterprise, we lost 4 megawatts of capacity. So it would take 2 of these units to make up what the Enterprise can't do. And we were always short roughly 1 meg of energy just from sustaining the town. So the 2 megawatts, the additional 2 megawatts should probably carry the town. I'm not talking about being able to run industry and business during that time, but at least, if it's a winter time or weather time where we don't have some energy, you're gonna have capacity to heat your homes, cool your homes, whatever it's gonna take to do that. So we've been kind of working through some of the numbers a little bit. If you figure 3 units, it's right around $900,000. We're looking at a step-down transformer, which would take it from the 12,470 down to the 4160, which is a majority of our system. That's going to be about another $225,000, and which is actually cheaper than I thought it was going to be.
Right.
But it's still a lot of money.
Right.
And then the CAT unit, the catalytic units, you figure 100,000 per unit. So between engineering and everything else, you're going to be somewhere around $1.85 to $2 million.
We talked about this in committee, and I still wouldn't mind knowing what it would be to replace the other 2, so we're all on 12,470.
We can definitely
Just a look.
Yeah, I mean, that's something we can look into. And so what I'm asking you for tonight is we need to bring an engineer on board, electrical engineer, to kind of take a look at this in a snapshot and give us a budget number as to what we're really looking at,
right,
and what the options are for installing the units, what we can put inside the existing facility versus what we'll have to put outside the existing facility. And budgeting somewhere around $150,000 to $200,000 to do that.
So we're adding to our capacity, we're not doing away with anything?
Well, initially, yes, we're adding to our capacity.
But I mean,
but we're going to
the
look at,
electrical units we have down there now will stay there?
we're going to take a look at what the advantages are of keeping those versus changing them out.
Because the problem is we have an updated substation that runs on a different level than what we have. So you have to use the step-down transformer like Tom was talking about, which that was a much better number than we thought. So my suggestion at that time was, when we thought it was going to be substantially more, was if we look at changing out the other ones to meet that, then we're all in the same capacity and everything's up to date and flows to the substation.
The long term is you're going to look at converting the system to 12,470 from the existing 4160. And that's what we've been working towards with everything that we've been putting out new. Everything is going out, dual voltage transformers, everything is going out with the 12470 equipment in mind. And then, like I said too, you're still looking at the potential to get capacity payment from Mean.
Right.
So that's gonna help offset some of the costs. But I think this is a very thumbnail sketch and we need to do a little deeper dive if you're in favor of moving forward with something like this.
Real
That's gonna cost us some money to do this.
Real quick, speak to what those generators cost brand new.
You know, right now, well, last time we looked at it, we were a little over $1 million a megawatt.
Right.
So, and that's been a few years ago, so I'd say they're much higher than that now.
And these don't have a lot of hours on them.
They don't, no. The units that aren't in the enclosures have a little over 900 hours on them. The units in the enclosures, I think, have less than 500 hours on them. So in other words, the units that are in the enclosures, you can set them out at our sub right now, hook them in, because we have a bay that we added into that sub when we put that new sub in on the north end, north of the power plant.
Yeah.
So you can conceivably drive that sub with 2 of those units pretty quickly, pretty easily. The problem is not all your loads on the 1247.
Right.
Yeah,
Right, yeah.
yeah.
Hopefully we get there.
Do we need to do anything to kind of get our name on these units?
Well, that's
the
what
action,
we're doing tonight. The action
You said
it
the
takes
ask.
tonight, we're gonna translate to
The ask
Caterpillar,
was-
and then we're gonna get JEO in. That's who we're gonna work with on
Yeah.
this project.
You gotta get the engineering figured out before you buy them.
Yeah.
So.
And I think we can get something from them fairly quickly.
Right.
You know, when I say quickly, I'm thinking a couple months,
Right.
and we can know where they're at. Now, Kimball's been waiting, what, a year and a half for their units? And they're coming out of a data center too. So these units may not hit the streets for a year, even if we earmark them tomorrow.
But to Rusty's point, like, are we looking at earmarking 5 and then if we only buy 3, then we only buy 3, or?
Well, that's a discussion I wanna have with JEO.
Yeah, I think if there's a.
If it's feasible.
If it's right, that's what I mean.
See, one of the key things with these units is they can be remote started. In other words, if Mean has a call for them, they can just dial them up, start them up, they come online. We don't even have to touch them. But I mean, you still need people around there to maintain them and operate them. But from a demand standpoint, with the renewables that are coming into play, everybody's projecting that these units are gonna become a bigger part of what we do.
Right.
And for example, like February of, what was it, last year, when we had the total outage. That was outside of our control.
Right.
If we'd have had these units, they would have ran.
How long continuous can these run? I know
They're not long-term units like our old base load units. You're looking at probably a week to 2 weeks at the most, continuous. They usually don't,
Yeah, I would think they would, for sure go that long,
yeah, they usually don't push them real hard that way.
And if we're out of our other power source that long, we got other issues.
Then there's a whole lot of other problems, yeah.
So again, Tom, the ask is that we contract with JEO on this.
Yeah, that we start working through JEO and start
Yeah.
putting something together, yeah.
Yeah.
So like I said, there's gonna be some expenses involved in this or that haven't been budgeted for.
Right.
Because like I said, it just kind of came along. I think it's worth pursuing. I think it's worth checking out.
And I think we talked about it in subcommittee and the fact of how not inexpensive, but affordable they are versus the new ones, right? I mean, it's, you gotta take a look at them.
Do some due diligence and see where it lands.
Sure.
Okay, if there's not any more discussion, just need a motion to approve this.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Motion made by Rusty, seconded by Mark. Item 5, report on the progress of redevelopment projects financed through tax increment financing. Tom?
Can I switch gears on that just for a minute, Bruce, since Andy's here? let's call that resolution, because I'm sure he wants to get back on the road. You sure?
Yeah.
Okay.
Discussion on that.
Okay, all right. Okay, yeah, we're required to provide you with a TIF recap of what the TIF projects are. And Kathy put those together, they're included in your packet. I think we have 3, I think they're in front of me now. We have Grant Streets and Woldrick, they're the only 2 left. So the Woldrick is set to go to 2038, and Grant States is set to go to 2031. So I just need
Need a motion to accept this report?
Right.
So moved.
Motion made by Tom. Second. Seconded by Rusty. Cast your votes. Okay. Item 6, 2021-2022 independent audit. Receipt of the audit conducted by Cruz and Associates.
Yeah, we don't have the copies yet. They're due this week. We were hoping to have them today. So what, the audit has been completed, it's just you recognizing the receipt of the audit is all. So as soon as we get those in, you will have them in your hands. And we're talking about a matter of just a couple of days.
Yeah.
If not sooner. Because they've been sent in to the state already. So their deadline on those was 31st of March.
Okay, I just need a motion to acknowledge the receipt.
Do we have to come back and approve them after, or?
Is it acknowledged that they've been submitted?
Submitted.
Yeah,
Yes.
not received.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
we haven't received them.
right. Yeah, they've been submitted to the state.
So that means they're approved? I mean, we don't have to look at them physically?
No, you'll still have them, you'll still get an opportunity to look at them and review them. If we need to bring them back for any discussion purposes, you can certainly do
I don't know what
that.
my point was there. It's semantics.
So,
So a big switch right here, apparently.
not even. It's your call, if you wanna wait, we can wait.
I didn't get it yet, did I?
Okay.
Yeah, we're just gonna have to table it until next month. Yeah, they were supposed to get them delivered to us by today, and,
And they did.
yeah, so.
I think we should have them in hand, whether everybody reads them or not, to the.
I don't think that's a bad idea either.
Yeah.
Okay, item 7, approve early redemption and prepayment of the outstanding refunding certificates for the Nielsen Center. Go ahead, Dave.
Yeah, thank you. Just tonight we have a resolution authorizing the early redemption. Those notes had a 5-year call feature, and that call option is available to you actually as of this month. So this resolution just authorizes us to submit the call. We have to give 30 days notice to the note holders, and then you can pay them off. I did do a little math just to see what you were saving in interest, and it's about a little over $120,000.
Oh, yeah.
Great idea.
So,
Yeah.
Yeah, so Kathy put together kind of a little spreadsheet for you in your packet of where the funds are coming from. We have $539,600 in our current money market account. BOK Financial has a reserve of $181,000. That was part of the refinance we did 2 years ago, 3 years ago.
after the 17th?
Well, yeah, it's 5 years ago.
Yeah.
5 years ago. And then Nielsen Center Committee is pledging an additional $90,000. And from city sales tax, including the payment for this year, is $213,000. So of that $213,000, I think the original payment was right around 170-ish. Right in that area.
Last page,
The payment in September is going to be $173,000, which you've already budgeted for, so we need to approve an additional $40,094 from city sales tax to pay it off. That would be on the third sheet.
So we just need authorization to do that.
Make a motion.
Motion made by Shay.
Second first.
Oh, we gotta read the resolution first. Can't wait.
Resolution number 2023-6, a resolution of the mayor and city council of the city of West Point, Nebraska, authorizing the early redemption and prepayment of the outstanding refunding certificates of participation, West Point, Nebraska Community Center Project Series 2017.
Okay, now we need a motion.
I'll make a motion.
Shay,
Second.
seconded by Jerry. Cast your votes, please. Okay. Item 8, approval of council affiliated claims of Hugel Plumbing and Heating for services and supplies.
Wow.
That'll break the bank when
It's the biggest one I've ever seen.
Yep. Biggest one I've ever seen.
Okay, I need a motion to accept this.
Make the motion.
Motion made by Mark,
Okay.
seconded by Tom. Jerry, you gotta upstate.
Do I?
Yeah, you probably should
I
have.
might need it.
We have them all up there before.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, we got a couple add-ons here. Approval of a special designated liquor license, Gravios Foods, for the West Point Beamer alumni on May 27th, 2023. Need a motion? Motion made by Tom,
Second.
seconded by Rusty. Cast your votes, please. Okay, and we got one more item. Consider request from Cattlemen's Ball Committee to use the city streets for Cattlemen's Ball Stampede Fun Run on June 3rd. Melissa, you want to say anything, or?
I guess thank you for listening to our request. We, I think in the packets you should have what the route is. It's very similar to the fun run route that is used by the hospital for their fun run in July. I know Tom and I talked a little bit about the construction at the pool. I think with that being fenced off the way it is, as long as that doesn't change, it should be still a good route, very safe for the participants, hopefully. It will be, registration will be at 6:30, the run will be at 7. We would be done probably 30 to 45 minutes and off the city streets before anybody really is out and about. So, do you have any questions for me?
Just need a motion to approve this request. Motion. Motion made by Rusty,
Second.
seconded by Tom. Cast your votes. Okay, and I got one resolution, resolution number 2023-7, to approve the application payment number 5 in the amount of $113,892.96 to Christensen Construction Company for the West Point Aquatic Center. Do I got a motion to pass this resolution?
I'll make the motion.
Motion made by Rusty,
Second.
seconded by Ryan. Cast your votes. Okay. Reports, I don't have anything tonight, Tom.
Just a couple things. In April, it's gonna be towards the end of April, Local is gonna have kind of a little bit of a grand opening up there in front of their store, so they're gonna wanna bring in an ice cream truck and set it out in front there for that event, just to make you aware of that. The CCCFF grants that we applied for regarding the pool, that grant was rejected. However, they did approve the planning grant for the rec center. So that, we'll see that paperwork coming in here within the next 30 days, they thought. So then the only grant we have left out there that's gonna get filed is the one with the Doherty Foundation for the pool.
How much was the grant that they rejected?
I want to say 400,000.
And how much was it when they approved for the planning?
It was, well, half of the 30,000.
Yeah, 15.
Because we have to match that.
Yeah. Anything else?
Why can't everyone just give us free money?
Mark, you got anything?
No.
Jerry?
Nope.
Rusty?
None.
Tom? Mr. Ryan?
No, sir.
Shay?
Just one thing. So like it was, very nice to get that email about the transfer station hours. Updated that. But I think there's probably a couple other things that probably could have been notified to the council about some of the other things that happened in the last month that maybe like with the Eagles Club that we could know about before we didn't have to ask. So we could.
Okay.
There's a couple more communications would be nice. So
Okay.
that's all I got though.
Hey, I just need to,
Make a motion, we adjourn.
motion made by Tom,
Second.
seconded by Mark. Okay. Thanks everyone for coming.
Yeah.
Enjoy your evening.
Tonight or tomorrow?
I'll find out in the morning.
5:10 a.m.
First flight.